Make the ground shake.
Hey guys, what is going on? My name is Tom Gummy, and today we are back for another statue. Now this is one that I've actually been waiting on since December. That's how long I've been putting this statue off. And personally, I'm really excited because it is a really awesome design that took me and my group of designers who worked on it and gave me advice for it a long time. So we finally came up with a Darth Vader statue. Now, the hype around this first started around the Force Awakens, when people were asking for it then, and I know I might be a tiny bit late. I intended to get it out for Rogue One release, but we are here today to build, as I said, a Darth Vader statue. So anyways, the blocks you're going to need are the following. You'll need black wool, block of coal, obsidian, stone, polished andesite, grey wool, cyan clay, lime clay, red wool, and nether brick slabs. So mainly, it's just a variety of blacks and greys, of course, for the suit. Now this is an extremely detailed statue, and it took absolutely ever for me to design. So if you do enjoy, definitely consider leaving a like on the video. That would be very much appreciated. Subscribing to the channel if you're new, and also make sure to hit the notification bell to actually be notified when I subscribe. Now apologies if I do sound a bit sniffly. That is because I'm coming down with a cold, and Storm Doris in the UK has officially, I guess, made me ill, so we'll have to see how it goes, but hopefully it won't be too bad. Anyways, with that said, let's get straight into building. So, we're going to start off by building the front side of the legs first. The front side of the legs are 12 tall and 8 wide. So, of course, we're going to go up layer by layer, left to right, and after each layer, I'll give you guys an opportunity to pause if you need to do so, and that'll be probably your best opportunity. So anyways, let's get straight into building. We're going to start off by finding a nice empty area, or wherever you're choosing to build it. Bear in mind what we're building here is the front, so if you build facing this way, the statue is going to be facing in the opposite direction. So we're building this way, the face is going to be facing that way, if that makes any sense. Hopefully it does. Anyways, next to the black wool, we're going to place 2 blocks of coal. We then place 2 black wool, 2 coal, and 1 black wool, and that is the first layer. As I said, that is 8 blocks wide, and to build the legs, we're going to do 11 more layers similar to this. Okie dokie, so again, after each layer, feel free to pause if you need to do so. For the second layer, we're going to do 1 grey wool, 1 stone, 1 grey wool, 2 black wool, 1 grey wool, 1 stone, and 1 grey wool. For the third layer, we're going to do 1 black wool, 1 cyan clay, 1 obsidian, 2 coal, 1 obsidian, 1 cyan clay, and 1 black wool. So that is, again, the third layer. Again, I'm trying to go as slow as possible, but of course this video will be an extremely long one, so pacing will be interesting. Let's see how it goes. For the fourth layer, we're going to do 1 black wool, 1 grey wool, 4 black wool, 1 grey wool, and 1 black wool. So that is the fourth layer. For the fifth layer, we're going to do 1 grey wool, 1 cyan, 4 block of coal, 1 cyan, and 1 grey wool. And again, that is our fifth layer. For our sixth layer now, we're going to do 1 block of coal, 1 stone, 1 black wool, 2 obsidian, 1 black wool, 1 stone, and 1 block of coal. And again, that is our sixth layer, so we are currently halfway there. So making good progress. Okie dokie, so moving on to layer number 7, we're going to do 1 block of coal, 2 black wool, 2 coal, 2 black wool, and 1 block of coal. And again, that is layer number 7. For layer number 8, we're going to do 1 black wool, 1 grey wool, 1 coal, 2 cyan clay, 1 coal, 1 grey wool, and 1 black wool. Okie dokie, again, zooming out just so you can see that is our 8th layer. Okay, so for our 9th layer, we're going to start off again by going 1 obsidian, 1 cyan, 1 obsidian, 2 grey wool, 1 obsidian, cyan, and 1 obsidian. So it's very mirrored, I guess you could say. The pattern on the left mirrors onto the right side. For our 10th layer now, we're going to do 1 coal, 1 grey wool, 1 black wool, 2 cyan, 1 black wool, 1 grey wool, and 1 block of coal. And that is again our 10th layer. For our 11th layer, we're going to do 1 black wool, 1 polished andesite, 1 coal, 2 black wool, 1 coal, 1 polished andesite, and 1 black wool. And that is again our 11th layer. And our 12th and final layer for now is going to consist of 1 black wool, 1 cyan clay, 1 black wool, 2 coal, 1 black wool, 1 cyan clay, and 1 black wool. And once you've done that, you should have the legs. But of course I go to the credits. That was my bad. There we go. So let's get rid of my arm. And I'm going to show you, as you can see, that is what it should look like. That is 12 blocks tall, 8 blocks wide, and that is the front side of the legs. If you have something looking like this, then great, fabulous, you are on the right path. If not, simply just pause here and it's pretty self-explanatory, just build from the image you see on screen. If you want any more help, again, go back in the video, see where things haven't gone to plan. If that still doesn't work, again, let me know down in the comments below and I'll work on it in future videos. Okie dokie, so now we have something looking like this, we can now move on to the upper body and making some progress there. So we're going to start off by going back to the legs, and on top of this, for our 13th layer, we're going to place a row of 8 black wool. Now from said 8 black wool, we're going to go 1 block to the left using coal, 1 black wool, 1 coal, and 1 grey wool, so essentially 4 blocks to the left. On the right side, we go 1 to the right using coal, 1 black wool, 1 coal, and 1 grey wool, and that's 4 blocks to the right again, and that is essentially the arms, so marking out where the arms are going to go. So we go 4 to the left, 4 to the right on the 13th layer, that marks out where the arms go. We're not actually going to build the arms for now, we'll come back to that later on in the video, but again, it's just marking out, it means we don't have to count later, makes life a tad easier overall, and just speeds up the process, which is always good. Anyways, we're going to continue with the body now, so just like the legs, the body is 12 tall and 8 wide, and of course we got the first layer already here, which is 8 black wool. Now the body does contain a bunch of 3D effects, but we're going to build the main part first, and then we'll come back to that later on. Okie dokie. So starting on the left side again, make sure you ignore the arm, start on the actual first block. We're going to place 1 lime clay, or is it green clay? Lime clay, that's the one. And then we're going to place 2 blocks of coal, 1 cyan clay, 1 grey wool, 2 blocks of coal, and 1 green or lime clay. Doesn't really matter, I don't think, because I think they're very, very similar in terms of colouring. For the third layer of the body, again, going from left to right, we're going to place 1 block of coal, 1 black wool, 1 coal, 1 grey wool, 1 stone, 1 coal, 1 black wool, and 1 block of coal. And again, that is our third layer. For our fourth layer, this one's a very, very simple one. We're going to do 1 block of coal, 6 black wool, and 1 block of coal, and again that is our fourth layer. For our fifth layer, we're going to do 1 black wool, 1 coal. Now this is where we're building like the little chest part, the little, I don't know what you really call it, the piece on his chest, like the computer system / mechanical side. So we're going to place 1 red wool, we then place 1 stone, 1 grey wool, 1 stone, 1 block of coal, and 1 black wool, and that is the fifth layer. For the sixth layer, we're going to place 1 black wool, 1 coal. Continuing with this panel here, we're going to place 1 grey wool, 2 cyan, 1 red wool, 1 coal, and then 1 black wool. As you can see, that is your sixth layer. So again, if you want to take the opportunity to pause, we are halfway there, so feel free to do so. The next layer, we're going to start off by placing 2 coal, 1 stone, 1 grey wool, 1 cyan, and 1 lime clay. So that finishes off the panel. The final 2 blocks we're going to end it off with is coal. The next layer, relatively simple. We're going to place 2 coal, 1 black wool, 2 coal, 1 black wool, and 2 coal. And that, I believe, is the 8th layer. For the next layer, we're going to place 1 grey wool, 1 polished andesite, 1 stone, 1 cyan clay, 1 grey wool, 1 stone, 1 polished andesite, and 1 grey wool. And that is the 9th layer. For the 10th layer, we're going to place 1 cyan, 1 stone, 1 polished andesite, 1 cyan, 1 grey, polished andesite, stone, and cyan clay. And again, that is your 10th layer. So again, I'll give you guys a second to catch up there because that is relatively complicated. So there you go. Moving on to the 11th layer now, we're going to place 1 cyan, 2 polished andesite, 1 grey wool, 1 cyan, 2 polished andesite, and 1 cyan. Again, that is our 11th layer. And for the 12th and final layer, we're going to place 1 block of grey wool, 1 cyan clay, 1 black wool, 2 coal, 1 black, 1 cyan, and 1 grey wool. And once you've done that, it will look something like this. If I can get rid of my arm. Thank goodness we didn't hit the credits button again there. As you can see, that is 12 tall and 8 blocks wide, and that is the front side of the body. Now, as I did previously mention, there is a few 3D effects, and I'm going to run through them in a second. But for now, we're going to build the arms. Okie dokie. So, for the arms, we're going to start with the left arm first, then we'll move over to the right arm. The arms are 12 tall and 4 wide, and the first layer, as you can see, comes off the 13th layer, going 4 blocks to the left and 4 blocks to the right. So, starting on the left arm, as I said, we have the first layer, which is 1 grey wool, 1 coal, 1 black wool, and 1 coal. The second layer, going from left to right, we're going to do 3 coal, 1 black wool. The third layer, we're going to place 1 coal, 1 black wool, 2 coal. So that is, again, the third layer. For the fourth layer, we're going to place 1 coal, 3 black wool. For the next layer, we place 1 obsidian, 2 coal, and 1 black wool. And that is the fifth layer. For the sixth layer, we're going to place 1 cyan clay, 1 stone, 1 obsidian, and 1 block of coal. And that is the first 6 layers, so again, halfway there. The seventh layer we're going to place is 1 grey wool, 1 cyan clay, 1 grey wool, and 1 block of stone. The next layer we're going to do is 2 grey wool, 1 block of coal, and 1 cyan clay. And that is the 8th layer. For the 9th layer, we're going to do 1 black wool, 2 coal, and 1 black wool. And again, that is the 9th layer. For the 10th layer, we're going to do 1 block of cyan, 1 stone, 1 grey wool, and 1 block of cyan. For the 11th layer, second to last layer, we're going to do 1 cyan, 1 grey wool, 1 stone, and 1 grey wool. And that is the 11th layer. And for the 12th and final layer, we're going to do 3 blocks of black wool and 1 block of grey wool. And that is the left arm complete. Now the good news is, and I don't know if this is good news, but it makes it a bit more simple, the other arm, the right arm, is the exact same, just mirrored. So if you want to do it yourself, feel free to do so. Wouldn't recommend it, but of course, if you're up for a challenge, that's cool. I will run through it nevertheless, so don't you guys worry. But if you do want to save yourselves a bit of time and skip to that, then feel free to just build it, but flip it over. So this is the left side, and that is the right side, if that makes any sense. Anyways, moving across to the right arm, of course, because I am going to build it. We're going to come to the 13th layer again. We go 4 blocks to the right, and this is what this looks like. So it's 1 coal, 1 black wool, 1 coal, 1 grey wool. So for the second layer, just like before, bear in mind it's 12 by 4. The second layer, we're going to do 1 black wool, 3 coal. For the third layer, we do 2 coal, 1 black wool, 1 coal. So that is the first 3 layers. The fourth layer, very simple, 3 black wool, 1 coal. The fifth layer we're going to do is 1 black wool, 2 coal, 1 obsidian. So as you can see, first 5 layers. The sixth layer we're going to do is 1 coal, 1 obsidian, 1 stone, and 1 sand clay. As you can see, that is our 6th layer. For our 7th layer, we're going to do 1 stone, 1 grey wool, 1 sand, and 1 grey wool. And again, that is our 7th layer. For our 8th layer, we're going to do 1 sand, 1 coal, 2 grey wool. I'll just back up again so you can pause if you want to do so. Moving on to the next layer. Again, very, very simple. 1 black wool, 2 coal, 1 black wool, and that is our 9th layer. Our 10th layer is going to consist of 1 sand clay, 1 grey wool, 1 stone, and 1 sand clay. The 11th layer is going to consist of 1 grey wool, 1 stone, 1 grey wool, and 1 sand clay. And that brings us to our 12th and final layer, which is, again, very, very simple. 1 grey wool and 3 black wool. And once you've done that, it will look something like this. You can start to see it's taking shape very, very nicely, of course. It's currently a pixel art because we haven't actually built anything on the rear side, but it's looking kind of fancy. And it will look a lot nicer once we go ahead and add all the 3D effects. So if you want to pause as a overall part right now, would be a good time to do so. This shows the legs, the body, and the arms. Of course, the legs are 12x8, the body is 12x8, and each arm is 12x4. If you're looking for a more close-up, this is the legs. Of course, we then have the body and each arm. Okie dokie. So I'm going to get rid of my... I'm going to get my arm back, is what I meant to say. I'm going to get rid of the arm that's already gone, apparently. And we're going to start building some 3D effects. So essentially, this consists of the belt, the panel, and also some shoulders. Okay, so what we're going to do is come to the second layer of the body, which is where we have this lime clay. And what we're going to do is essentially bring it forwards one. We're going to bring the lime clay one forwards. Again, this is a 3D effect we're building on top of, not replacing, not into, on top of. To the right of this, we're going to place 2 coal, 1 sand clay, 1 grey wool, 2 coal, and 1 lime clay. So as you can see, all we're doing is what we've already built, but bringing it forwards a layer. For the next layer, on top of the lime clay, we're going to leave 1 block. We're then going to place 1 black wool, 1 coal, 1 grey wool, 1 stone, 1 coal, 1 black wool, and then we leave 1 block. So that is the belt. As you can see, it's essentially a 8x2 area minus the top left and top right corner, and that consists of the second and third layer of the body. Now, in regards to the panel area, what we're going to do is come to the black wall here. We're going to go up 1, leave a block, and up to this coal here, right next to the red wall. On this coal, we're going to, again, bring it out 1, and to the right of this, we're going to place, just like you can see on screen, 1 red wool, 1 stone, 1 grey wool, 1 stone, and 1 coal. So this area is essentially 6 wide, and we're going to build this up. So the next layer, we're going to place 1 coal, 1 grey wool, 2 cyan, 1 red wool, and 1 coal. The next layer, which is the third layer, is slightly different. So we're going to build it up just like we do before. So we go up 1 using the coal, but this time we're going to go 1 to the left as well. So we're starting to pan out to the left. Continuing, we're going to follow the pattern again. So we're going to do 1 stone, 1 grey wool, 1 cyan, 1 lime, and then just like before, we're going to place 2 coal instead of 1. And for the final layer, just like before, we're going to build it up a layer. But this time, of course, because we've gone 1 to the left, we're going to place 2 coal, 1 black wool, 2 coal, 1 black wool, and 2 coal. And as you can see, that is the chest plate slash control panel, and that is now 3D. So essentially, it's very simple. All we're doing is bringing what we've already built forwards a layer. So not really much thought to it, but it does have a nice effect. Okie dokie, so another 3D effect. There's a lot of 3D effects we're going to be adding. Another one is the little chain that goes around his neck. It's a very small feature, but again, one that just makes this gap here look a lot nicer and a lot more detailed. So what we do is we grab ourselves our obsidian, and we're going to come to the top left corner of the arm. So of the left arm, we come to the top left corner, and from here, we're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, And on the fourth block, so it should be this grey wall here, we're going to go down one, and we're going to place one obsidian. And we do this on the right side as well. So we go to the top right corner, we're going to go to the side, 1, 2, 3, 4, should be on this grey wall. We're going to go down one, place an obsidian. So as you can see, there should be in between this a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 block gap. And what we're going to do is do the chain out of nether brick slabs. So left side, right side, we're going to connect it together in the middle with a, I guess a dip down in the middle of the chain. So we're going to start on the left side, so we come to the obsidian. On the lower half, we're going to place a nether brick slab to right of it. What we're then going to do is on this stone block, diagonal from it, we're going to go down once and twice. So we go down diagonal twice, but when I say that normally, if you're doing it with blocks, it would look something like this. Let me do it with an obvious colour. You'd go like that. So that would be down diagonal twice with blocks. However, with slabs, because you can do them on the upper half and the lower half, if you did it on just the lower half, it would end up looking like this. So you want to make sure that it goes lower half, upper half, lower half. So that is the 3 diagonals. From this side, the right side, we're going to do the exact same. So we go one to the left. On the lower half, place a nether brick slab, and then we're going to go down diagonal to the left twice. And then what we do is simply join them together in the middle by placing 2 on the lower half of this sand and grey. And once you've done that, that is the chain complete. And again, it's a very small feature, but one that makes it look, in my opinion, a lot nicer. Now, you may be wondering, what are we going to be doing? Because, as you can see, the chain is just floating on the left and right side. And this is where we're going to build him some nice shoulders, bulking them out a bit, basically. So, what we're going to do is we're going to start on the left side. And to the left of this obsidian, we're going to place 1 coal, and we're going to go up 1. To the left of this, we're going to place 1 black wool, and then we're going to go down diagonal to the left. So we leave the top left corner open, and the reason behind this is so it gives it a bit more curve, rather than it just being a blocky corner. Underneath this black wool, we're going to go down 1 using 1 coal, down 1 using 1 black wool, and down 1 using coal. Then what we do is we're going to go up diagonal now. So we go up diagonal to the right on this one using coal, up diagonal to right, this time using black wool, and in these 2 middle blocks, place 2 black wool, and as you can see, that just makes the shoulders look a tad more bulky. Now in regards to the obsidian, just to cap it off, underneath the obsidian, we're going to place 1 coal, and that is the left shoulder complete. Now of course, once we build some stuff on the sides and on the top, it's going to look even more bulky, but for now, this is what we want it looking like. So if you want to pause, feel free to do so, and again, bear in mind, the top left corner is this block right here. So the green, or the lime, is where the block starts, and then that is the shoulder. Now, the thing is, we're going to repeat this on the right side, pretty much to the exact same specification. So, we start off by the obsidian, we go to the right, place 1 coal, go up 1 using the coal, to the right using black wool, down diagonal to the right using black wool, then we're going to go coal, black wool, coal. From this coal, we go up diagonal to left using coal, up diagonal to the left using black wool, and then we're going to go to the left one underneath and place 1 coal underneath the obsidian. Now in this 2 block gap here, simply place 2 black wool, and that is the right side, and as you can see, it's the exact same as the left, and you can just see the effect it has on the overall statue. It makes it a lot more bulky and a lot more interesting, whereas before the shoulders were quite plain, it's now really detailed, and it gives it a bit more shape, so that's what we're looking for. But anyways, yeah, that is, so far, the front side of the body. That is pretty much all we need to do. Now, of course, just like before, I'll give you a close-up view, just in case you want to pause. This is the front side of the legs, 12 by 8. The front side of the body, again, now with all the 3D effects, 12 by 8. And the front side of each arm, 12 by 4. And all the 3D effects, we have the belt, the control panel, the necklace / chain, and a left and right shoulder pad. Okie dokie, so as I said, this is the front side of the body. However, this is a statue, and right now it is indeed 2D, of course with the exceptions of the 3D parts, but in majority it's 2D. So what we're going to do is start building up the sides, making it 3D, and start actually turning it into a 3D statue. So we're going to come down to the bottom left corner, and what we're going to do is get rid of the nether brick. We're not going to need that for a while, so feel free to chuck it or do whatever you want to do with it. We come to the black wall here, come around to the left side and expand 2 to left using black wool and 1 block of coal. Now essentially, the side of the legs need to be 12 by 4, 12 tall, 4 wide. However, the 4th layer is already done. This is the 4th layer, you can see here, and that is the front side. That's the 4th block. Already done. Good. So that means we only need to place 3 blocks per layer, because 3 plus 1 equals 4, and we're looking for a 12 by 4. It's all starting to make sense, I hope. So what we're going to do is build from left to right, layer by layer. We're going to be placing 3 blocks per layer and shouldn't take too long. It's very, very simple. So we're going to start on the bottom left corner, and we're going to start by placing 2 coal, 1 black wool. The next layer we're going to place is 2 obsidian, 1 coal. So that's the first 3 layers already done. It's as simple as that. For the 4th layer, we're going to place 1 coal, 1 grey wool, and 1 block of coal. And in fact, I can make this even easier. On the 3rd block, all we're going to do is build up 8 using coal. So if you build up 8, it will take you up to this height, because the 3rd block on every layer from this point on is coal. So that automatically takes away another part of our job, so we're already half done. So, continuing now with the 5th layer, on top of the coal here, we're going to place 1 black wool and 1 cyan clay. So again, that's the 5th layer. The 6th layer and the 7th layer, we're going to place simply 2 grey wool. So that's 2 layers done at once. Again, very, very simple. The next layer, the 8th layer, we're going to place 1 grey wool, 1 cyan, and the layer after that, we place 1 cyan, 1 grey wool. So now we're just having a bit of a vertical pattern, just mixing things up a bit. The next layer, which is the 10th layer, is going to be 2 grey wool. And then both the 11th and 12th layer is 1 black wool and 1 grey wool. So it's the exact same. Whoops. And as you can see, it comes together and gives you a 12x4 shape that looks like this. Now, from a corner angle, it looks like this. As you can see, it looks really, really awesome. And it will look even cooler once we add the cape later on. And it starts to make a bit more sense. Again, if you want to pause, that is the left side of the leg. And we're now going to move around to the right side counterpart, which is, again, very, very similar. Okay, so moving around to the right side, just like before, we're going to start as this black wool right here, and we're going to go 1, 2 to the right using black wool, and then we're going to place 1 block of coal. On top of this, just like before, for the 2nd layer, we're going to place 1 black wool, 2 coal, and from this one, so the 3rd layer, we're going to build up 10 using coal, just like here. So on the left side, we had it before where we have a layer of coal. We're going to do that again, this time 10, because I've figured out it's easier to do earlier on. So that leaves us, just like before, with 10 layers where we only have to place 2 blocks. So going back to the 3rd layer, we're going to place 2 obsidian. For the 4th layer, we're going to place 1 grey wool, 1 coal, and again, that's the first 4 layers. For the 5th layer, we're going to place 1 cyan and 1 black wool. After that, we're going to do 2 layers of 2 grey wool. So that is the first 7 layers. For the 8th layer, we're going to place 1 cyan, 1 grey. And for the 9th layer, we place 1 grey, 1 cyan. So again, mixing up the pattern. For the next layer, the 10th layer, we're going to place 2 grey wool. And just like before, for the 11th and 12th layer, we're going to place 1 grey and then 1 black wool. So the final 2 layers are the exact same, and that's what it looks like head on. So that is a 12x4. And then from a corner angle, again, it looks like this. It is the exact same as the other side. Okay, so now what we're going to do is make some progress on the sides of the arms. However, what we need to do first is build the underside of the arms. So the way we're going to do that is come around to the rear side, and we're going to start on this left arm over here. Behind the grey wool, what we're going to do is bring it back 1 using black wool, 1 grey wool, and 1 black wool. And now we're going to work our way over to the left. So essentially, we're trying to make a 4x4 platform. The way we're going to do this is by bringing it back 3 blocks from the already existent layer we have. So for the 2nd layer, again working towards the left, we're going to bring it back 3 using coal. For the next layer, we're going to place 1 obsidian, 1 coal, and 1 black wool. And then for the final layer, we're going to place 1 coal, 1 black wool, and 1 obsidian. So from the underside, on the left side, it looks like this. So that is the underside of the left arm. Now, the right side, again, is the exact same. So if you want to do it yourself, feel free. However, I'm going to run you guys through it nevertheless. So coming over to the right side, we're going to go back to the grey wool here. We're going to bring it back 1 using 1 black wool, 1 grey wool, and 1 black wool. Now this time we're going to work our way over to the right. So the 2nd layer, we're going to bring back 1, 2, 3 using coal. The 3rd layer, we place 1 obsidian, 1 coal, and 1 black wool. And then for the final layer, we're going to place 1 coal, 1 black wool, and 1 obsidian. And just like before, underneath it should look something like this, and that is the underside of the right hand. Okie dokie. So again, I'll give you one last view of the left and the right. This is the left side. Again, a 4x4. And then moving over to the right side, this is the right side, again a 4x4. Now you can see the detail that's gone into that is crazy. Considering you can't even see it, that's the amount of detail that is in this statue. Okay, so now we've done that, what we can do is come around to the left side of the arm and you should have something that looks like this. Essentially, the left side of the arm is a 12x4, just like with the legs, the fourth layer is already done, and ignore this because this is all 3D effects. So the fourth layer already done, that means we're only placing 3 blocks per layer, 12x4 in total, should be very, very simple. So the first layer consists of 1 black wall, 1 grey wall, 1 black, 1 grey. Just like before, I'm not going to mention the fourth block on every layer, just going to mention the 3 we're building. So starting with the second layer, we're going to place 1 coal, 1 sand clay, and 1 black wall. For the third layer, we're going to place 1 coal, 1 black wall, 1 coal. For the fourth layer, we're going to place 1 coal, 1 grey wall, and 1 black wall. But again, that's the first 4 layers. For the fifth layer, we're going to place 3 blocks of coal. For the sixth layer, we place 1 cyan, 1 grey wall, and 1 black wall. Again, that's the sixth layer. For the seventh layer, we're going to place 1 coal, 1 cyan, and 1 grey wall. The next layer, we're going to place, again, 1 coal. We're then going to place 1 stone, and 1 cyan. And we're going to cap this off now by placing 1 coal, 1 cyan, and 1 black wall. So as you can see, this stone should be completely surrounded by coal and cyan. The next layer, which is the 10th layer, consists of 2 coal and 1 black wall. The 11th layer is 1 black wall, 1 coal, and 1 grey wall. And the 12th and final layer is 1 black wall. Don't know where I got blue from there. 1 black wall, 2 coal, and then of course it matches up with the black wall here, and that gives you your 12x4. So it looks like this. Of course, ignore this part here, this is all a 3D effect, and I'll get to in a second discussing what we're going to do here, which kind of links in with the cape. But this is what it looks like head on, and it looks like this from the side. Again, the good news is the other side is the exact same, so if you want to copy it over, feel free to do so. As I said, we will discuss shoulder pads later on in the video. Okie dokie, so heading round to the right side, same procedures apply. We are going to start on the bottom left corner. The first layer is 1 grey wall, 1 black wall, grey wall, black wall. Of course, fourth block, or in this case, first block already done, so we're only doing 3 blocks per layer. Apologies if my voice sounds like really, really groany now. I don't know why, it seems like it's progressively got worse over the video. But I guess it's just a side effect of having a cold, which is slowly killing me. So, the second layer is 1 black wall, 1 sand clay, and 1 coal. The third layer is 1 coal, 1 black wall, 1 coal. So that is the third layer. For the fourth layer, we're going to do 1 black wall, 1 grey wall, and 1 coal. The fifth layer is simply 3 blocks of coal. For the sixth layer, we're going to do 1 black wall, 1 grey wall, and 1 cyan. The next layer is 1 grey wall, 1 cyan, 1 coal. After that, we're going to do 1 cyan, 1 stone, 1 coal. And again, this is just like the other side, we're surrounding the stone. And the way we're going to do that is by, on the next layer, placing 1 black wall, 1 cyan, and 1 coal. So that is the 9th layers, or the first 9 layers. For the 10th layer, we're going to place 1 black wall, 2 coal. For the 11th layer, we place 1 grey wall, 1 coal, and 1 black wall. And for the 12th and final layer, we place 2 coal and 1 black wall. And that is what it looks like. Again, that is a 12x4, and from a corner angle, looks like this. So if you want to feel free to pause, then please do so. And then we can start making some progress on the rear side of the statue. But from a corner angle, the statue should currently be looking like this. So we have made really, really nice progress. Okie dokie. So coming around to the rear side, and this is where things are super, super easy. And the reason behind that is because most of it is covered by a cape, which means most of it doesn't need to actually be detailed. Okay, So let me explain in more detail. We have the left side already done. We have the right side already done. That is 2 layers done, which means we're only placing 6 blocks per layer. Let's begin. So, starting on the first layer, we're going to place, next to the coal, we place 1 more coal. We're then going to place 1 black wool, 2 coal, 1 black wool, 1 coal. That is the first layer. The second layer, we're going to place 1 obsidian, 1 cyan clay, 2 black wool, 1 cyan clay, and 1 obsidian. The third layer, we're going to place 1 grey wool, 4 black wool, and 1 grey wool. And once you've done that, that is pretty much the details you need to do on the rear side of the legs. Everything else, the remaining 9 layers, is simply black wool. Moving on up, we've got the body. What we're going to do is on the obsidian here, we're going to go 1 to right, place a black wool. And same on this one, place a black wool right here. And this essentially connects the legs to the body. Just like before, we also have the outline. Everything in this area, including the arms, is black wool. So this area, 9 layers of black wool. So a 9 by 6 of black wool. This area, a 12 by 8 of black wool. And then the arms is going to be a 11 by 3 of black wool. So essentially, all you need to do is just go ahead and fill it all in. And you see, I'm just building it all the way up to the top. Easy way to join it together is just build across at the top, and we'll talk about the shoulders later on, about adding some detail. But for now, just build all the way, so bring it back 3 blocks at the top, and then just link everything together, fill everything in using black wool. So this whole area here is going to be black wool, and I'm going to cut the video and get back to you once it is complete. Okay, so as you can see, I've gone ahead and filled everything in, and it ends up looking like this. So if you didn't understand before what I was talking about, it's essentially this. You can see this is the rear side of the legs. That is indeed a 12 by 8, and out of those 8 layers, I guess, or out of those 12 layers, 9 of them are 6 blocks of black wool. So it's very, very simple, and that carries on over to the body as well. As you can see, everything in the body area is just filled in using black wool. So it's nice and plain and nice and simple. And as I said before, this is majority going to be covered up by the cloak, or the cape, I guess you could call it, so it doesn't matter at all. So that is good. That saves us a lot of time, a lot of effort, and it now means we can start moving on to actually building the head. So, what we're going to do before we do that is build the shoulders. Of course, you should have something that looks like this. It's all filled in nicely. We're going to start on the left one, and we're going to punch 2 blocks out on each side. So you can see here, we've got 2 blocks of coal. On the front one, we're going to go 1 to right, punch out this block here, and place 1 block of coal. And what we're also going to do is go to the rear one, go up diagonal to right, punch out this one, and again, replace with a block of coal. Now back here, we'll lead on to the cape, and same with the left side. And on the right side, we're going to go to the coal here, and again, we're going to go 1 block to left on the front side, and up diagonal to left from the rear one. And that is essentially all we need to do. The whole middle part is going to be covered up by the head, so it isn't something you need to worry about. But yeah, that's pretty much the body so far. Now, one more thing we're going to add, of course, it's kind of his signature thing, is his lightsaber. So, this is kind of like a finishing touch, but we'll add it now, get it out the way. So we're going to come to the bottom left corner of his hand, so this one here, his left arm, to the grey wall. We go up 1 to right 1, and we're on the second block here, which is a block of coal. We're going to bring it 2 forwards using black wool. And then what we're going to do is grab ourselves our red wool. You could, if you're on PC, use the red glass because it looks a lot better. If you build it on Xbox, you can see it's not too colourful. So I prefer using red wool, but on PC you can get away with glass. What you're going to do is bring it forwards 9. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And once you've done that, you can see that is his lightsaber. Now, believe it or not, I did actually spend a lot of time working with different numbers and different measurements of how long that should be, and that is the best I could get looking, so it actually looks like a legitimate lightsaber and not a red stick. So that is essentially that, a small touch, but just makes it a lot more recognisable of who it actually is. Once you've also done that, we can also start working on the cape. Of course, we should probably get that out of the way before we work on the head, so let's begin. What we're going to do is come around to the left side of the arm, this part here, and this is all going to be a 3D effect. So, what we do is we come to the top left corner, and right here we're going to place 1, 2, 3 black wool. What we're then going to do is go down diagonal to right, so to here, place a black wall, and we're going to go down 1, 2, 3. So right now it looks something like this. So recap, starting on the top left corner, we place 3 black wool. We go down diagonal to right, so essentially leaving this corner here. You can start to see a pattern. We leave a corner here, leave a corner here, and it gives it a bit more of a rounded shape. We then go down 4 using black wool, and underneath this pillar of black wool we're going to place 1 block of coal. What we're then going to do is go down diagonal to the left once, twice, and 3 times using coal. As you can see, that kind of caps it off. What we're then going to do is go back up to the top side and go down diagonal from this top left corner using black wool, and bring the black wool all the way down until it meets up with the coal, and that kind of caps off the shape, and we've got this whole area in the middle now which we can go ahead and fill in. So we're going to start off by filling in with black wool. We're going to add some detail using some coal afterwards, but for the starter point, just fill it in using black wool, and it should now look something like this. So again, this is the top left corner of the shoulder. This is a 3D effect on the rear side, as you can see if you go around to the rear side. And what we're going to do is grab ourselves our blocks of coal, come down to this coal here, so this is the block on the far right side, go up diagonal and up 1, that's 2 blocks of coal. What we're then going to do is go down diagonal to left from the lower one and place 1 more, go up to the top and go up diagonal to left, down diagonal to left, place 2 more coal, and that's just a slight pattern, but it makes it a lot less plain and just adds a bit more texture to it. So that is essentially the left 3D effects on the arm. Now, again, we're going to bring this down further, so this starts going down further into the actual cape. So, what we're going to do is underneath this black wall here, we're going to place a block of coal. So we now have a diagonal straight of 5 blocks of coal. Underneath this coal, we're going to go down 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And what we're then going to do is place a random block. I'm going to place lime, go 1 to the left, punch out the lime, and bring this down 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that is now 6 tall, and as you can see, that will bring you very close to the ground, and that's what we're looking for, because that is kind of the length the cape is gonna be. In regards to this area here, don't worry about that, because that all links around to the rear side, which we'll get to in a second, but that is essentially what you should be looking at so far. So you have the upper part, which is this area here, top left corner of the shoulder, this block. We start off with the 3 blocks, go down diagonal, down 4, coal, a diagonal strip of 5 blocks of coal, link this all the way back up to the top, fill this all in, we've got the texturing, and then this area is 5, and this is 6. So that is the left side of the cape, or the left side of the shoulder. We're going to repeat this on the right side now. So we go around to the right side of the arm. We're going to start in the top right corner by placing 1, 2, 3, going towards the left using black wool. What we're then going to do, just like before, is we go down diagonal to left, down 1, 2, 3 using black wool, and cap it off with a block of coal. From this block of coal, we're going to go down diagonal once, twice, and 3 times using, of course, our coal. We're then going to go back up to the top right corner and go down diagonal to the right and bring this down all the way until we meet up with the coal. As you can see, again, this is a 3D effect, so it overhangs on the rear side, but that is intentional. Once we've done that, we have our outline. We're going to go ahead and fill it all in using black wool. And just like before, we're then going to punch out a variety of blocks to give ourselves some texturing with the coal. So, what we do is we come to the left corner, to this block of coal at the very bottom. We're going to go up diagonal to right, punch this one out, punch the one above it, go up diagonal to right, and down diagonal to right. So that's 4 blocks. What we're then also going to do is from this lower block here, we're going to go down diagonal to right, and that is our 5th block. And then we fill it all in using coal. Again, just small details, doesn't really matter that much, but it means it's a lot less plain than if you just left it out of black wool. So that is the shoulder area. Just like before, we're then going to bring it down. So we, underneath this black wool, place 1 coal. We now have our strip of 5 coal. Underneath this coal, we're going to bring it down 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we're going to place a block of our choice. I'm going to use lime clay again. What we then do is go out to the right, so 1 block to right, punch out this block so we now have a diagonal connection, and bring this down 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So again, this is 6 tall, this is 5 tall, and then we have the whole shoulder shape right here. And that is, again, a replica of what we have on the left side. So what we've built on the left side is the exact same as what we now have on the right side, as you can see, and it makes the shoulders look even more bulky, which is great in my opinion, because again, it just makes the character look a lot more stronger and a lot more intense. Okay, so now what we're going to do is go around to the rear side and start linking everything together. This is, I guess, the harder part, but also the part that really makes the statue super, super cool. So, what we're going to do is go to the top left corner of the rear side, and we start on the second block. We're going to place a row of 16 black wool. You don't actually have to count, because what you're going to do is leave a 1 block gap on the left, and a 1 block gap on the right. So as you can see, 1 block gap on the right, 1 block gap on the left, and again, that's just to make the shoulders a bit more rounded. What we're then going to do is mark out the 3 different areas. So we're going to come to the bottom left corner of this coal block here, and we're going to go 1, 2, 3 to the right using black wool, and then bring it all the way up. You should have to go up 13 blocks roughly using your black wool, and this is section number 1. What we're then going to do is go over to the right side to the bottom left corner of coal here, bring 1, 2, 3 to the left, and then go up to the top. Again, should be about 13 blocks, and that is section number 2. So what we're then going to do is go ahead and fill both of these sections in. So just fill it in using solid black wool, and this is going to be the first layer of the cape, because the way the cape works is it's not a flat cape. I've made sure of that. I've made it so that it's like a curved staged cape, so it has lots of different layers and lots of different shapes. So it's a curved but also a layered cape, so it's a bit more difficult to build. What we're then going to do is go up to the top left corner, so this area here. As you can see, in between the left side and the right side we have this gap. So what we're going to do is count it. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So our middle section is going to be 4, which means if we take 4 away from 10, it leaves us with 6, and we want it to be perfectly in the middle, so it's going to be a 3 block gap on either side. So what we do is we count 1, 2, 3, and on the 4th block place a black wool, then place 3 more. So 1, 2, 3, and then there should be a 3 block gap. So from here, what we're going to do is bring it down 12. So this is the 13th block, and we're going to go 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And as you see, it should be at the exact same height as this one right here. What we're then going to do is go 1, 2, 3 to right, and then build it all the way back up to the top, and that is our third and final area, which we're then going to go ahead and fill in using, again, our black wool, and that gives us our first 3 layers of the cape, A, B, and C. Okie dokie. So again, if you want to pause, this is what it looks like. Roughly, that coal is 5, the black wool on the left is 8, and this is roughly about 13 blocks tall, with this layer being the 14th layer. Again, the middle section is about 13 by 4 if you ignore the top layer, and the right side again is about 13 by 4 with 8 black wool, 5 coal. So again, that's just a rough estimate of coordinates, just for you to bear in mind. And what we're going to do now is start working on the second layer of the cape, which we're going to start off at the top. So for the second layer, you can see here we've got these gaps which are about 3 wide. What we're going to do is place a random block of your choice. I'm going to again use lime, and on top of that, so bringing it forwards a layer, we're going to place a black wool. Punch out the lime and go 2 blocks to the right, and this is the first stage. On the right side, we do the exact same, so we place 1 lime, bring it forwards 1 using black wool, punch out the lime, go 2 blocks to the right, and we've got the starter point. So it's going to be a bit difficult to see because it is all the same colour, but essentially what we're going to do is bring the black wool down 13 blocks. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So as you see, it goes down 1 block taller or 1 block more than the other layer. What we're then going to do is go to the top again and bring it all the way down again. So we match it up. So do this all the way across. And then we do this on the other side as well. So on the right side, we bring it down 13. And we do this for all 3 layers. So this gives us a 14 tall by 3 wide area of black wool on both the left side and the right side. And make sure to leave this area in here hollow, because we don't want the cape being permanently attached to his back, because that's part of the shape of the cape. We want it to flow. So what we're also going to do is at the top, as you can see here, we're going to bring it up a layer. So on both sides, we place 3 blocks of black wool on top, and that now makes it 15 tall and 4 blocks, or 3 blocks wide on each side. We come to the bottom now, and we're indeed going to punch out a layer, just make it the same size, just make it easier, and I'll talk about what we're going to do after with the lower layer. So it's now a 14 by 3. On the left side, we're going to go 1 block to left and 1 block to right. And on the right side, again, 1 block to left, 1 block to right. And as you can see, you now have like 2 pillars or 2 beams. And that is making up the second layer or second stage of the cape. So again, if you want to pause, feel free to do so. Again, I do understand it is a bit difficult to actually see what the different parts are because it is all black wool and it blends together pretty well. But again, the measurements are 14 tall and 3 blocks wide for the second stage. And if you want the measurements for the first stage, again, go back in the video and I do explain it. Okay, so moving down to this lower area, and what we're going to do is start off at this coal block right here. From this coal block, we're going to go 1, 2, 3 to the right, and on the right side, again, we go 1, 2, 3 to the left, so it's very, very mirrored. We're then going to join this, so we're going to go on the left side, down to the bottom of the coal. We're going to go down diagonal to the right twice, to the right one, as you can see, so it kind of makes a curved shape. And on top of this, we're going to bring it up 6 using black wool, and it will link up perfectly. This joins up to the middle section, which is this part here, and we're going to go ahead and fill this area in using black wool. We're going to repeat this on the right side. So on the right side, we go to the bottom of the coal. We're going to go down diagonal to left twice, to the left one, build up to the top using black wool, and then go ahead and fill this whole area in the middle using black wool. So if I zoom out a bit, you'll now see it looks something like this. Again, bear in mind, this is the second layer, this is the first, this is also part of the second layer. For this middle area, which is looking a bit empty right now, what we're going to do is come to the 2 blocks in the middle, so this one here and this one here, and we're going to go down 1 on each one. So it will look like this. We're going to join them in the middle by placing 2 blocks, and this is now a row of 4 black wool. What we're going to do is bring this down 7, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it should now be at the exact same height as the block of coal on either side. We're going to do this on the right side of this, so bring it all the way down, so 7 in total, to match, and do it for the 2 middle layers as well. So it's now a 8 by 4 of black wool. Make sure you don't place one like that. Again, you want the shape to stay consistent. And underneath this, we're going to cap it off by placing a row of 4 blocks of coal. So this will make it 1 block shorter, or 1 block closer to the ground would be a better way of putting it, than the left and the right side. Now, as you can see, there's still 2 gaps, the one on the left, one on the right, and this is where our third layer is going to come into place. So just like before, we're going to get our block of choice and start marking it out. Okay, so we're going to head over to the left side first, and what we're going to do, just like before, I'm going to place 1 block of lime, bring it forwards 1 using black wool, punch out the lime, and build 2 blocks to the right. So this is our starting platform again. Now what we're going to do is on the second block, we're in fact going to build up 1 in the middle, so it's now like a Tetris kind of pyramid shape. We repeat this on the right side, so we're going to place 1 lime here in the gap, bring it forwards 1 using black wool, punch it out, 2 to the right and 1 up in the middle, and that gives us a pyramid shape on both the left and the right side. Now these 2 layers, so this is the third layer of the cape, we want it to come in line with the second layer of the cape on the left and right side. So the way we're going to do this is bring it down 6, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and as you can see that will fall 1 short, and we're going to do this all the way across. So bring it down 6 all the way across, that gives you a 7 by 3 area with 1 block in the middle on the top, again 6 on this side. And then what we're going to do, just to cap it off like we have before, is we're going to place a layer of 3 blocks of coal underneath. So 3 blocks of coal, and as you can see, it will then be the exact same level as the left and right side, and it will have this lower part in the middle, which is intentional. So once you've done that, it will end up looking something like this. As you can see, that's a very fancy and very glamorous cape, and it looks a lot better than if you just made it flat and boring. From the front side, you can see it also has a really awesome effect, and that is essentially the hardest part of the tutorial done, believe it or not. And we can now start making some progress on the head. Okie dokie. Before we do that, again, what I will do is in fact do a little pause, spin aroundy thing, opportunity. So if you do want to catch up at any point, feel free to pause, because this video is dragging on a bit and my voice is slowly but surely giving up on me. I'm not going to say the dimensions, but again, bear in mind, it is all said in the video, so if you're having any issues, then just go back in the video and see where things have gone wrong. If not, then leave a comment down below and I'll try and help you on a more personalised basis. Okie dokie, so as you can see, this is the sides of the arms, And then, of course, the rear side of the body is completely covered, except from the very, very bottom, by this huge cape, which consists of 3 layers. So we've got layer number 1, which is this one, layer number 2, which is this one, and then layer number 3 right at the bottom in the center. So, hopefully you have something that looks like this, and on that basis we can now move on to doing the head. Now this is arguably the second hardest part of the tutorial, but personally it should be pretty easy to explain, so should be, as a result of that, pretty easy to understand. What we're going to start off by doing is coming to the front left corner, and we're going to start on this block right here. We're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, and on the 5th block, which should be the second grey wall, we're going to place 1 black wall and bring it 1 forwards. Normally we'd bring it 2 forwards, this time we're only going to do 1, and I'll explain that in a second why. On the right side, we're going to go to the front right corner. We're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, and on the 5th block, again, second grey wall, place a black wall, bring it 1 forwards, and then there should be a 6 block gap in the middle, which we're going to fill by placing 1 black wall, 4 grey, and 1 black wall. So there should be a 8x1 overhang on the front side of the statue with the front side of the head. What we're then going to do is come around to the left side and expand 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 backwards. So that is now a 7 wide area. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we want to expand it 1 less. So it should be in line with the final step of the cape, as you can see right here. So it's 7 wide. On the right side, exact same. We're going to expand it back 5. I said 6 before. It's 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that gives us, if you link it together, a 7 by 8 square. So it's 8 wide in terms of width, and then 7 wide from the sides. And the reason that is because the front side is going to have a lot more 3D effects on it. So if we extend it out another block, it'd be way too chunky, and as a result of that would make the head look really, really bulky and not too interesting. So, anyways, we're going to worry about the front side first. The front side is an 8 by 8 square, so we'll get that out the way. Very, very simple. So we got the first layer, again, which overextends 1 block, which consists of 2 black wool, 4 grey wool, and 2 black wool. The second layer is 1 coal, 2 black wool, 2 grey wool, 2 black wool, and 1 coal. The third layer is 1 coal, 6 black wool, and 1 coal. If I can place it, there we go. That is again the third layer. The fourth layer, which is the layer with the eyes on it, we're going to place 1 cyan, 2 grey wool, 2 black wool, 2 grey wool, and 1 block of cyan. So we're halfway there. For the fifth layer, we're going to place 1 black wool, 2 grey wool, 2 black wool, 2 grey wool, and 1 black wool. For the 6th and 7th layer, we're going to simply place 8 blocks of black wool, so 2 layers of solid black wool. And then for the 8th and final layer, we're going to place 1 coal, 6 black wool, and 1 block of coal. And once you've done that, that is an 8 by 8 square, and it doesn't look very good, does it? Of course, we haven't built any 3D effects, and as I said, there is quite a few on the head. Now, what we're going to do is build the actual base head first. So, once you've got this, which is again an 8 by 8, we're going to come around to the left side. So, the left side, as I said before, is 8 tall, but is indeed only 7 wide. So, what we're going to do is essentially, we've got the 8th block, or the 7th block, should I say, on each row already done. For the first 4 layers, we're simply going to do black wool. So, the first one's already done. Second, third, and fourth, all we're going to do is place 6 blocks of black wool on each layer. Now again, please, 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 please listen up when I say it's only 7 wide. I know it's unusual, but it is indeed only 7 blocks wide. For the 5th layer, we're going to do 1 coal and 5 black wool, and we're going to repeat this twice more. So 1 coal, 5 black wool, 1 coal, and 5 black wool. And that brings us to our final layer, which we're going to leave 1 block and place 5 coal. So once you've done that, that is a 8 tall by 7 wide area with the top left corner missing, and it's as simple as that. It's very plain, but of course once we add the 3D effects, it will look completely different. Now the right side is the exact same, so if we head around to the right side, of course, we've got the first layer already done. Again, bear in mind it's only 7 wide, 8 tall. For the first 4 layers, we're going to do all black wool. So first 4 layers already done. For the 5th layer, we're going to place 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 black wool, 1 coal, and we repeat this twice more. So 5 black wool, 1 coal, and then for the final layer we're going to place 5 coal, and then leave 1 block in the top right corner. Again, 8 blocks tall, 7 blocks wide, and if you want to pause, feel free. Now, I do appreciate the head looks really, really bad right now, and this is going to be the interesting part, is when you see the transformation from it looking so bad to when it looks, in my opinion, really, really good. That's one of my proudest parts about the statue. I think I really got the head on point. Anyways, go around to the rear side, and you can see it should be an 8x8 square, just like the front. The first 4 layers, again, are going to consist purely of black wool, so we just build that up nice and simply. And for the 5th layer, you can see on the left side and the right side we have 1 coal block. In the middle, we're just going to place 6 black wool, and then for the remaining 3 layers, we're going to place 3 layers of 6 coal. So it's 5 layers of 6 black wool, and then 3 layers of 6 coal. That brings us up to the top. Again, the top left corner and top right corner should be empty, just to give it a bit more curve. And then in regards to the top, we're going to go ahead and fill it in basically with black wool, with the exception of the back left and back right corner, which we're going to place 1 coal. With the rest of it, we're simply going to fill it in with black wool, and once you've done that, you have the base head, and we can go ahead and start adding some 3D effects. Okie dokie. Before we do that, I'm going to do a little spin around, again, just make sure everything's on this, or everyone's on the same point. So we've got the front side, again, which is an 8x8, only overhangs by 1 block. We have got the left side, which is a 8 tall by 7 wide, overhangs 2 on the back, 1 on the front. The right side, again, 8 tall, 7 wide, overhangs 1 on the front, 2 on the back. And the rear side, which is 8x8. In regards to the top, again, it's a 8x7, and is majority black wool, and very, very simple overall. Okay, so let's get now to adding some 3D effects by starting off with me getting my arm back. Okay, so we're going to start on the front side, and we're going to start off using our coal. We're going to come to the bottom left corner, and on the second block we're going to place 1 coal, again as a 3D effect, and we're going to go up diagonal to right once, using coal, and then once again using cyan clay. On the right side we do the exact same, so we come to the bottom right corner, we're going to leave 1 block, go 1 to left, place 1 coal, go up diagonal, again 1 coal, up diagonal to left again, 1 cyan. As you can see, kind of makes like a mouth kind of outline. And from this cyan, what we're going to do is build a 3 tall by 2 wide area of coal directly above it. So as you can see, it goes upwards in the middle and then spans out to the left and to the right diagonally. From this area here, what we're going to do is go 1, 2, 3 to the left and 1, 2, 3 to the right. And on top of this, we're going to kind of round it out. So the second layer on top of it, we're going to place 2 coal, 6 black wool, and 2 coal. Or sorry, 4 black wool and 2 coal. And then for the final layer, we're going to leave 1 block and we're going to place 2 black wool, 2 coal, and 2 black wool. And of course, there'll be a 1 block gap on that side. And once you've done that, it ends up looking like this. As you can see, it's starting to look a bit nicer. So that is the 3D effects for the front side. What we're then going to do to cap it off and make it a bit more bulky at the front is come to the top left corner again, go down diagonal to right, and on this block of coal here, we're going to place a row of 6 coal as a 3D effect, and on top of that we're going to leave 2 blocks, place 2 coal, and leave 2 blocks. And the reason behind this, as you can see, it makes the head look really, really fat, which is why we didn't want to bring it forwards another layer. When we're building on top, this layer here is going to curve inwards and be the curve on the top of the helmet. So for now, that is the 2 layers of 3D effects added. Again, if you want to pause, feel free to do so, and we're going to start making some progress on the top of the head. Okie dokie. So it seems a bit weird why I'd be making progress on the top of the head and ignoring the sides. Of course, I'll get to that later on, but basically, we want to make sure the head, or the top of the head, is done first, and then we can go to the sides and then the rear side. And then that pretty much wraps up the video. So what we're going to do is we're going to start off at the front middle section, so where we have the 2 coal, and we're going to come to the second row of coal, and we're going to place 2 coal on top. So again, this is 3D. We're then going to bring it back 7, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and that'll bring you all the way up to the edge, and we're going to make it 2 blocks thick. So this is our center piece. From our center piece, what we're going to do is go back to the front left corner. We're going to go forwards 1, and to the left 1, and to the right 1 using black wool. From the black wool on either side, we're going to go diagonal forwards, then forwards 2 using coal, forwards using black wool, and then diagonal again to connect it back to the center point. That will leave us with a 4-block gap. Simply go ahead and fill that in with black wool. And on the right side, we do the exact same. So we go diagonal forwards, forwards twice using coal, forwards once using black wool, diagonal forwards using black wool, and fill the remaining area in again with black wool. And that is our first layer of the top of the head. As you can see, that makes the head a bit more curved now on the top, a bit more domey. And that is essentially what we are looking for. Now, in regards to the second layer of the 3D effect, what we're going to do is start at the front again, and we're going to count 1 in, so we leave a 1-block gap, and we're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and again make it too thick. Now what you'll notice is at the front it's a lot more curved, and at the back it's a lot more straight and to the point, and that's important because once we build the back you'll understand why. So at the front it should be like a gradual curve, and at the back it should just stop right there. So as I said, that is a 7x2 area of coal, and that's built on top of the 8x2 we previously had. So this is what it currently looks like from the front, and then the top. And again, apologies if my voice is going awfully quiet. It's actually because I'm losing my voice as we speak, which is kind of insane. Okie dokie, so looking at the head from the left side, it should currently now look like this. We're going to start off in the top left corner, and from here, what we're going to do is we have this gap. We're going to count down 1 and 2, so we're now on the second block of coal. Go to the third one, and what we're going to do is bring it forwards 1 and down 1. From here, we're going to go from each coal, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then place 1 coal, and then underneath that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1 block of coal. And essentially, this is a 7x2 3D effect. What we're then going to do is go to the right side. Underneath this, place 1 block of whatever you want, and bring it forwards again using coal. Punch out your block, and you now have another area. So what we're going to do is bring the coal down 1. We're then going to go 7 to the left, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and up 1. As you can see, it links diagonally in the corner, and we're going to place a row of 6 black wool, and that caps it off and gives us a solid shape. And as you can see, it's starting to make a bit more sense now with the side, and from the front angle, you can see it's starting to look a bit more like the traditional Darth Vader helmet. Again, I'll give you guys a second to pause here if you want to. I understand it is a bit complicated, but if you follow along with the video or just slow it down even and just mute my annoying voice, then it'll work pretty well. Okie dokie. So come around to the right side, and we're basically repeating what we've just done. So we go to the top right corner to this gap. We're going to count down 1, 2, and on the third block we're going to place a block of coal. And from this block of coal we're going to go down 1 again using coal. To the left of this coal, we're going to go 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 using black wool, and then cap it off with 1 coal, and then again underneath that place 1 coal, and go all the way across again using 5 black wool. So that gives you a 7x2 area. Just like before, this time we're going to go to the left side, and we're going to go down 1 using lime, bring it forwards 1 using coal, punch out the lime, and then go down 1 using coal. From this block of coal, we're going to go 7 to the right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Go up 1, and in this gap here, place 6 black wool. Just like before, it looks like this. This side connects diagonally in the corner, and from the front side now, you can see the parts hanging off the side are really starting to make it look like Darth Vader. And from the front side, that's essentially the view you're going to get once the statue is complete, because of course you can't see the rear side. So that is essentially what the statue looks like overall. However, if you come around to the rear side, you'll notice it's not complete, and that's what we're going to sort out now before wrapping up the video. So, what we're going to start off by doing is coming to the bottom left corner, bringing it forwards 1 using lime, go to the right 1 using coal, and punch out the lime. On top of the coal, we're going to place another coal, and we're going to repeat this on the right side. So we bring it forwards 1 using lime, go to the left 1 using coal, punch out the lime, up 1 using coal. Now there should be an 8 block gap in the middle. So we're going to join it together on the lower half using coal, and on the upper half we're going to place a layer of 8 black wool, and that is the first part of the rear side. So as you can see, it connects up with the bottom of the left and right side diagonally. What we're then going to do is bring it up to the second stage, which is going to cover this whole area right here. So the way we do this is we're going to start off by placing 1 block of coal right here. So in the left corner we have 1 block of coal. We're then going to place, to the right of that, 8 blocks of black wool, and then 1 block of coal. So again, it goes coal, 8 black wool, 1 coal, and that fills in the gap right in the corner. On top of this layer, what we're then going to do is go back to the left side. We're going to leave 1 block, place 1 coal, 6 black wool, 1 coal. And as you can see, we're starting to get a gradual gradient is what I meant to say. I kind of just combined the words there. That leads up to the top. For the next layer, you probably guessed it, we're going to leave 1 block. We place 2 coal, 2 black wool, 2 coal, and leave 1 block. And again, I'll zoom out just so you can see. For the next layer, again, we leave 1 block, place 4 coal, leave 1 block, and on top of the 2 coal in the middle, we're going to place a 2x2, and that brings us all the way up to the top, and brings us ever so close to actually finishing. So again, if you want to pause here, this would be a good opportunity to do so. The final thing we're going to do is go back down to the lower half. What we're going to do is go to the bottom left corner on top of this platform here. We're going to count 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to place 1, 2, 3, 4 of coal. On the 2 center blocks, we're going to build up 1, 2, 3 on each one. So 1, 2, 3. As you can see, that makes it a bit more curved at the rear side. And I'll give you a bunch of different angles. But once you've done that, that is pretty much it. That is your very own Darth Vader statue. And again, I guess the head is a bit complicated. So personally, I don't think it's that bad. But it is, again, rather complicated compared to normal statues. So let me know down in the comments below how this tutorial went, whether you had any issues with my explanation. If it is really bad, I'll re-record the tutorial for the head, because I kind of feel in the back of my mind it was a bit difficult to understand, but I want to see how it goes. So if you guys liked it, leave a like on the video. If you didn't really understand any parts of the video, let me know down in the comments below, and I'll be happy to remake certain parts based on the general demand of the audience. With that said, I really do hope you enjoyed, and best case scenario, you have something that looks like this in your world, which is your very own Darth Vader statue. Before my voice goes, however, I am going to wrap up the video. So thank you very much for watching. If you did enjoy, a like would very much be appreciated. If you haven't already subscribed, then definitely consider subscribing to the channel, and also hit the notification bell to actually be notified when I upload, because that's always really, really handy. Apart from that, again, thank you for watching. Much love for sticking around to the end of this video. I do appreciate it's a really long one. Anyways, apart from that, thank you very much for watching. Until next time, my name has been Gummy, and goodbye.
Eyes in the sky, gazing far into the night. I raise my hand to the fire, but it's no use, 'cause you can't stop it from shining through. It's true, baby, let the light shine through. If you believe it's true, baby, won't you let the light